So I've listened to a few of Aurora's videos, finally. Flying Rainbow Lasagne girl. And I just wanted to speak a little bit on her and what she talks about. And she talks about, she's essentially talking about the potentiality field which we all exist within. It's a quantum potentiality field, and we navigate it. We navigate it through our mind, through our senses, through our emotions, through hunches, intuition, through connection with the higher facilities or higher faculties, higher self-awareness, through source. All of these attributes are tools or mediums through which we're able to navigate the realm. And she also speaks about the death membrane, which she says was an invention. And I also understand death as an artificial invention, so as to have the mortal experience, because you can't have a mortal experience if you know that you're immortal. So hence, memory wipes and forgetting, and fear has to be introduced if it's not priorly present. But the issue is that these things that were introduced became unbalanced and took over the focal point of our lives and they became more important than they were supposed to be, essentially. So then you have all of the morgues popping up, and you have all of the religions talking about salvation popping up. It's just fear-based stuff. None of those things could exist if a being knows that he or she is immortal. He's not interested in tombstones. He's not interested in salvation. He's not interested in acquiring and possessing things. He's not interested in the extension and preservation of ego, because ego is representative of all of the lack / scarcity / fear-based notions that come in automatically when death is introduced, when memory loss has occurred, and when a being identifies as a physical body mind complex and sees the need to protect that because he or she is fully identified with it and is observing the reality through the lens of fear or lack. When fear and lack has been transcended or surpassed, or it is simply remembered that those are limiting tools that come along with the introduction of the death idea, then you don't have a need for them anymore. And they simply fall away, and you don't have it anymore. She doesn't have the fear anymore because she knows that death is a construct that was introduced into an infinite reality for the purpose of having a limited human experience. As far as the flying rainbow lasagna model, she does relate that to the toroidal model as a replacement for that, for the model that has in it the death membrane. Although as well, her rainbow lasagna model has the death membrane in it as well, but it's understood as emotional blockages and bits of sentience that have gone through the death experience and have not properly resolved and integrated them and moved on, and they were stuck in the membrane and acting as fear agents upon the rest of the populace, and still are. But back to her description of the periphery possibilities. She's emphasizing that the path that our life takes on a moment-to-moment basis is determined on focus. So if you're sitting in fear and you're worried about dying all the time, well, that's where your focus is, and you're going to bring that experience closer and closer, and that's going to become dominant in your life. And all of the other things that we normally enjoy, such as having fun, laughing, playing, creating, all these things will become peripheral to the fundamental death fear. And that's essentially a flip-flop of how it was intended for us to have this experience. Of course, everything is as it should be anyway, but if you're going to talk about incarnating and having an overall creative exploration experience, if the death idea is your primary focus and it's running all of your mental faculties the entire time, then you're not going to have a lot of extra focus or free time to consider the creative possibilities, because you're in constant fear of losing that bit of self which you have identified with being the body-mind complex and all of its limitations. Something else I noticed with her flying rainbow lasagna model that she created, if you, like, it starts big at the top and then it comes into a cone shape and then it comes out again at the bottom. If you mentally contrast that with the toroidal vortex model, it actually fits into it as the negative space of the toroidal model. So if you take her lasagna model from the center point and spread it out like this, then the toroidal model will actually fit inside of it. The top cups on and the bottom cups on. So it's like a negative space imprint of the toroidal model. That's what I see anyway. And it's more of a, to me, it's more of a mental exercise in helping to break old mental patternings that you've come in with that are promoting the death urge and promoting the fear model. And it's allowing you to see the negative imprints of that, because of course everything is related, and it allows you to look without fear into the peripheral possibilities of your life, instead of constantly focusing on when am I going to die, how am I going to die, and where am I going to go after I die. It's impossible to be creative and spontaneous and exploring when that's your entire focus. So I like Aurora. She has a good message. She seems very pure. She seems kind. And somebody being kind, honestly, to me is the most important. Lack of fear and kindness those are the most important attributes when I'm considering somebody else's point of view. And she's also in California, so perhaps I'll reach out to her at some point and see what may or may not come of that. Yeah, flying rainbow lasagna. I like the concept. Anything that helps expand people, it helps them see new points of view. It's always a good thing, especially for those of us who have been stuck in patterns and routines and fear models and all this for quite a long time. So anyway, go check her out. I'll put a link to her channel or just one of her videos, so you can go check her out and see how see how she feels, and leave any comments about what you think about her. I'm gonna stop making videos for now and simply drive. I'm going to San Francisco again. I'm always in San Francisco, but Christian and I are gonna have another go at making that video, and I'm gonna find out if it was really a lack of storage or if it was something else, and we'll go from there. So hope everybody's doing well. You're probably all still stuffed from Thanksgiving. I didn't eat meat. I considered it. I was like, should I eat turkey? There's gonna be turkey. And then I was like, nah, don't need to. Everything else was perfectly tasty and fulfilling. That's a good one. Anyway, hope everybody's doing well, and take care. Be well.